Few films have left as indelible a mark on pop culture as Quentin Tarantino's Pulp Fiction. A masterpiece of non-linear storytelling, the film brims with unforgettable dialogue, gripping tension, and an ensemble cast at the top of their game. But beneath its quirky humor and hyper-stylized violence lies something far deeper, a philosophical exploration of choice, morality, and divine intervention. In this essay, we'll delve into the idea that Pulp Fiction uses its iconic scenes to illustrate a theological test, one orchestrated by God himself. Specifically, we'll examine how the miraculous survival of Jules Winnfield and Vincent Vega serves as a turning point in their lives, presenting them with a moral crossroads. By the end of this journey, it's clear that Jules and Vincent embody two contrasting paths: faith versus chance, intention versus luck. Let's start with the scene that sets this idea into motion, the Apartment Showdown. Jules and Vincent are here to retrieve a briefcase for their boss, Mia Wallace. The job seems routine, until it's anything but. At first, everything seems to be going according to plan. Jules exudes confidence, delivering his now legendary recitation of Ezekiel 25:17 before gunning down Brett. Vincent, ever the skeptic, provides an understated counterpoint to Jules's fiery intensity. But the tension escalates dramatically when a third man, unseen until this moment, bursts from the bathroom with a revolver. He fires at Jules and Vincent from point-blank range, unloading the entire cylinder. Miraculously, every single bullet misses. Not one grazes them. The shooters themselves are dumbfounded, just like us, the audience. It's a shocking moment, but it's also the inciting incident for a much deeper conversation about faith, fate, and free will. Jules immediately interprets their survival as divine intervention, a direct act of God. Vincent, however, dismisses it as nothing more than luck, an absurd statistical anomaly. And this dichotomy, the faithful versus the skeptic, sets up the central conflict of their relationship for the rest of the film. But what if Jules is right? What if their survival wasn't random? What if the entire incident was a test, carefully orchestrated by a higher power? When we analyze what happens to Jules and Vincent after the apartment scene, a pattern emerges, one that suggests their fates are determined by their response to this divine test. Jules chooses to interpret the event as a sign. He decides to leave the life of a hitman behind, quoting scripture and seeking redemption by walking what he calls the path of the righteous man. Vincent, on the other hand, shrugs off the incident entirely. He sees their survival as mere coincidence and continues down a path of reckless hedonism. This divergence culminates in their respective fates. Jules, through his faith and intentionality, survives the tense diner standoff with Pumpkin and Honey Bunny. He diffuses the situation not with violence, but with words, embodying the very change he claimed he was seeking. Vincent, meanwhile, meets an untimely end. His death at the hands of Butch isn't just ironic, it's symbolic. The very luck Vincent relied on to dismiss their earlier survival turns against him. Vincent's end is a chain of seemingly random events. He happens to leave his gun unattended. Butch happens to return for his father's watch. The toaster happens to pop at the exact wrong moment. It's a perfect storm of bad luck, an outcome that feels almost karmic when contrasted with Jules's survival. The juxtaposition is clear. Jules actively chooses to change, recognizing their survival as a divine gift and using it to guide his decisions. Vincent, however, chooses passivity. He dismisses the miraculous as mundane and pays the ultimate price for his cynicism. The divine test theory doesn't just hinge on the apartment scene, it's embedded throughout Pulp Fiction's narrative structure. Tarantino's genius lies in how he uses interconnected stories to explore universal themes like redemption, morality, and, most notably, faith versus chance. One of the most striking aspects of the film is how it plays with coincidences. Characters constantly find themselves in situations where luck, or perhaps divine intervention, determines their fate. The glowing briefcase, Butch's watch, and even the diner standoff all hinge on seemingly arbitrary events that have profound consequences. Take, for instance, Vincent's night out with Mia Wallace. On the surface, it's a lighthearted detour filled with quirky dialogue and iconic imagery. But beneath the surface, the scene is a ticking time bomb. Mia's overdose later that evening feels like an act of cosmic irony, a grim reminder of how quickly chance can turn against you. Yet, even here, there's a deeper layer. Vincent's actions to save Mia are not motivated by faith or morality. They're driven by self-preservation. He knows Marcellus will kill him if anything happens to Mia. This sets Vincent apart from Jules, whose later actions are rooted in spiritual conviction rather than fear or obligation. Tarantino also reinforces these ideas visually. The briefcase, for example, is one of the most debated symbols in cinematic history. What's inside it? Gold bars, Marcellus's soul, divine grace itself? Tarantino has famously refused to answer, leaving the briefcase as a blank slate for interpretation. But what's important isn't what's in the briefcase, it's what it represents. For Jules, the briefcase becomes a catalyst for change. Its glowing light is almost angelic, evoking a sense of awe and wonder that aligns with his newfound faith. For Vincent, however, the briefcase is just another part of the job, a mundane object in a world of violence and chaos. Notice how the briefcase is framed during the diner standoff. When Jules opens it for Pumpkin, the light once again illuminates the screen, serving as a moment of revelation. But instead of sparking greed or violence, it prompts a moment of introspection for Jules. It's as if the briefcase is a mirror, reflecting the characters' inner selves back at them. Another recurring motif is the bathroom, a space that, in Pulp Fiction, often signals transformation or tragedy. Vincent's bathroom breaks are particularly telling. In the apartment, Vincent is in the bathroom when the unseen gunman bursts out. In Butch's apartment, Vincent's death occurs because he leaves his gun behind when he steps into the bathroom. And in the diner, Vincent is once again in the bathroom when Jules diffuses the standoff. These moments aren't just coincidences, they symbolize Vincent's detachment from the transformative events around him. While Jules is out in the world, actively engaging with his faith and making choices that alter his path, Vincent remains physically and metaphorically isolated. This contrast becomes even clearer in the diner scene. By the time Vincent emerges from the bathroom, the pivotal moment has passed. Jules has made his choice, to walk the path of the righteous man, and Vincent, unaware, continues down his doomed path. The bathroom, then, becomes a space of missed opportunities for Vincent. It's where he's absent from critical moments of change, a reflection of his refusal to engage with the deeper questions posed by their survival. The diner standoff is the culmination of Jules's spiritual journey and the thematic heart of Pulp Fiction. It's here that Tarantino's exploration of divine intervention and personal transformation comes to the forefront. Jules starts the scene as the same cold-blooded hitman we saw in the opening. He's calm, calculating, and completely in control. But something has shifted within him. The survival of the apartment shootout wasn't just a lucky break. It was, in his words, a miracle. For the first time, Jules begins to question his path, and his recitation of Ezekiel 25:17 takes on a new meaning. Ezekiel 25:17, as quoted by Jules, is more than just a prelude to violence. It's a window into his evolving worldview. In the past, Jules used these words to justify his actions, casting himself as the righteous man delivering vengeance. But during the diner standoff, the verse transforms into a reflection of his own journey. What's remarkable about the diner standoff is how it contrasts Jules's newfound faith with Pumpkin and Honey Bunny's desperation. The couple's robbery is fueled by fear, a fear of poverty, a fear of the unknown. They're willing to risk everything for a quick payday, embodying the chaos and randomness that Jules is striving to leave behind. Jules' response is both disarming and profound. By giving Pumpkin his wallet and sparing their lives, he subverts the violent expectations we've come to associate with his character. It's a moment of grace, a conscious choice to break the cycle of violence. This choice is tied directly to his belief in divine intervention. Jules sees his survival in the apartment as a sign, a test from God that he's now choosing to pass. His act of mercy in the diner is his way of honoring that miracle, of proving that he's worthy of redemption. But Jules's transformation is not without its skeptics. Vincent, ever the pragmatist, dismisses Jules' talk of miracles as mere coincidence. For Vincent, their survival was luck, plain and simple. This disbelief underscores the central tension between the two characters. faith versus skepticism, intentionality versus chance. In the diner scene, this dichotomy is visually reinforced. Jules leaves with purpose, his actions reflecting a newfound clarity. Vincent, on the other hand, remains stuck in his ways, oblivious to the profound change unfolding around him. This contrast foreshadows Vincent's fate, a reminder that those who fail to recognize divine intervention may not get a second chance. Pulp Fiction is more than a stylish, non-linear narrative. It's a meditation on morality, chance, and the human capacity for transformation. Jules Winnfield's journey from vengeance to redemption is a testament to the power of faith, not just in a higher power, but in the possibility of change. Because in the end, the shepherd isn't just a figure in Ezekiel's prophecy, it's anyone who chooses to lead, to guide, and to bring light to a world overshadowed by darkness.